Hi guys, welcome to the Open Notebook. My name's Trisha and today I want to share with you my summer book haul. So I'm super lucky and I just got 40 books for free. My boyfriend's mom went on this trip. She brought back bags and bags of books that were given to her by her stepmom. So we spent an evening, we laid them all out, we flipped through them, we divvied them up. And I'm super excited because a lot of these books were already on my TBR list, but some of them were in genres that I never would have even thought to explore. But since they were free, I was like, why not? Maybe this is a sign, you know? I also am excited because I got a bunch of Oracle decks for free as well. Now, we won't be going over these in this video, but if this is something you're interested in, I have a separate channel called Anathelia Oracle that I post reviews on weekly of Oracle decks and we do flip throughs. So if that's something you're interested in, head over to that channel after you watch this video. Let's get into the haul. All right, the first two books I want to share with you are going to be the summer books. These are the first two books that I want to read because they are summer themed. We're in the middle of July. It's still going to be summer for a while. I'm really glad there were some summer themed books in this haul because otherwise I don't know how I would have chosen where to start. But I'm currently making my way through A Court of Wings and Ruin because I got this book before the haul happened. But as soon as I finish that, I think I'm going to start with A Summer to Remember. If you guys have any suggestions, by the way, or any comments on these books, please leave them down in the comments and we can chat about books. Please no spoilers though. Don't ruin this for me. So next on the list, we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. This has been on my TBR for a while. This is a cozy fantasy book, which is one of my favorite genres. It's just so comforting to read and so easy. And then we have Circe with the release of the Odyssey this summer, which I haven't seen, by the way, but I'm planning to see very soon. I thought this would be a really fitting one, so I'll probably read this one very soon as well. This has also been on my TBR. And then Rebecca Yarros's Fourth Wing. I wanted to read this for quite some time. Was super excited when I saw this was in the pile. I also found Lilith. I think I saw this on TikTok, so I think I had added it to my TBR list. This is by Nikki Marmory. And then another one that I had on my list was The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is interesting because this has made its way into my life twice now. I had a friend gift this to me before and I did not read it. So with it coming back into my life again, I think it's definitely a sign I should probably read that one. It is a thicker book and I think that's what's intimidated me about it, but I am making my way through this bad boy right now. So if I can do that, I can make my way through this one too. So next we have Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I had never heard of this before. It's by Sue Lynn Tan and it's apparently a duology. This is book one, but it is a romantic fantasy. So I thought I'd probably like that one. Next we have Bleak House by Charles Dickens. I don't know if I've ever actually read a Dickens book. Maybe in school, but definitely not on my own. Don't even know what this is about, but I love reading classic literature. I think it's really important to get those classics in when you can. And then I've definitely seen this one around, Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. It is a sci-fi, which I used to read a ton of science fiction, so I think it'll be fun to return to that genre. Then I have a spooky season read. This is really short. I think it's based on the fall of the House of Usher, so I might return to that and like refresh my mind on that, but it's called What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. And then we've got Justin Cronin's The Passage. Don't know what this is about, but I think I flipped through it and I think it sounded good. It's also kind of a heftier read. It looks like it could be spooky, so maybe a fall read on there. And then we get into our historical fiction pile. So we've got Sunrise in the West. It seems like a medieval fiction story. And then we've got Apple and the Tree by Clemmy Bennett. This is a King Henry VIII era historical fiction. We've got The Devil's Glove by Salem. Oh, by Lucretia Grindle. It's a Salem witch trials era historical fiction. We've got Revelation, which is another King Henry VIII historical fiction. We've got Anne Boleyn. There was a ton of Anne Boleyn books, but I think I just took one out of the historical fiction section because, as I said, I've never really read historical fiction before. I've got The Secret Eleanor, a novel of Eleanor of Aquitaine, historical fiction again. And then finally for our historical fiction, oh wait, we've got some more here. Oh yeah, we've got some more. So we have Elizabeth the First. We've got Jane Seymour, the Haunted Queen. We've got Mary Magdalene by Diana Wallace Taylor. And then we've got Between Two Fires, an epic tale of medieval horror. This one I think is a historical fiction. It's called Lady of Horses. I opened this one up and it just looked really good. So yeah, I think it's historical fiction. And then we've got Firefly, kind of a random genre, more sci-fi. If you remember this, it was like early 2010s, really good series. I actually owned the series, so I'm excited. I never knew there was a book series about this. I might go back and like see if I can find the old DVDs somewhere and like watch them and then read the books at the same time. And then kind of a random genre, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. I love this kind of stuff as a yoga teacher. This is very helpful for me to read and return to. This book, I don't know, it's a short one. It's called Return of the Gods. It seems interesting, very different, kind of non-fiction-y. Then we get into history. So we've got The Young Alexander, The Making of Alexander the Great, Queen Anne, hefty, love this, The Politics of Passion. Then we have The Lady Queen, The Notorious Reign of Joanna I, Queen of Naples, Jerusalem, and Sicily. We have got Henry VIII and the Men Who Made Him. I'm going to read this before I read the historical fictions. That way I can kind of like lay the groundwork for this concept of Henry VIII that I've got going on in my brain. And then we have The Soul of America, The Battle for Our Better Angels. We've got Small War, My 27 Months as a Medic in Vietnam. I love biographies. They're probably my favorite genre, so I'm really excited to read that. Another biography we've got is 1,000 Naked Strangers, a paramedic's wild ride to the edge and back. We've got Plague, Fear, and Politics in San Francisco's Chinatown by Gunter B. Reese. Mexican Martyrdom, first-hand accounts of the religious persecution in Mexico from 1926 to 1935. And then we've got Death in Salem, the private lives behind the 1692 witch hunt. We've got Justinian Flea, the first great plague and the end of the Roman Empire. I love history books, and my interest in history is so vast that sometimes I don't know where to start. So I think the cool thing is I'm just diving in these random topics, and that's just kind of what I need right now because I need to just be handed it, I guess. Searching for the Amazons, the real warrior women of the ancient world. And then lastly, we've got a couple of non-history, non-fiction. This one's called The Depression Cure, which I am not suffering from depression, thank God, right now, but I have in my life, and I think a lot of people have. I particularly like these kind of books because they just give me a lot of insight toward the mind and the brain, which has always been something I've been fascinated by. And then we also, in tandem, have The Healing Power of Mind. Simple meditation exercises for health, well-being, and enlightenment. This looks old. I kind of like old books like this. That is all 40 of the books that I have accumulated. And then I also have a bookshelf full of unread books. So I'm feeling a bit excited, maybe a bit overwhelmed. Lastly, I want to share with you guys a little craft I've been doing. So this is the Brea Reese scratch pads. You can find these at Michael's, and there's the full-size pads as well, which I use to add art to my room. But these are just little bookmarks, and they're all fall themed. So obviously fall is the next season that's coming up, but I'm really excited to use these little bookmarks. And they're just a fun little craft that you can just kind of turn your brain off, scratch, and then you get a reward at the end. But yeah, head over to my other channel if you guys are interested in those oracle decks. I will link that in the description or post it on the screen or whatnot. And if you guys want to read any of these books together, maybe we could start a book club. That would be fun. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in a vlog or something very shortly. Bye.